Hello everyone, it's Nanny Moo Moo and Papa Dunk, and today we're at Bateman's, probably best known as a residence of Rudyard Kipling and his family. Today it is run by the National Trust. We're going to have a look at the house itself, but this video is more about the garden. It's a lovely summer day here. Some wonderful sweet peas. Do we know what that is, Papa Dunk?
It's globe artichoke.
Globe artichoke? I think we've seen a globe artichoke before. I can certainly see lettuces. Onions. Melons. Rhubarb. And some wonderful flowers here that are attracting bees. Now I do know that the gardens here at Bateman's were inspirational to Rudyard Kipling, particularly if he was looking for inspiration for one of his poems. And the garden itself is as important as the house. It's not a garden and a house, or a garden with a house. It's more of a garden and house together. I'm guessing that those are some sort of plums. You can see there in the background the entrance to the house. What's nice to see are people taking time to look around the garden. Apples. Certainly you could have a feast on fruits in this garden. So it looks like it's a little mini apple orchard. What have we got here, Papa Dunk?
This is called Rugosa Rose.
Rugosa rose. I can see some of it flowering, but quite a lot of hips here. Let's go into a flatter part of the garden. Some agapanthus. I do know my agapanthus. Almost indestructible. And you can see from this little walkway here, sitting at the end, and if you followed the sight line, you you can see the house. We've just come across this quite interesting tree. It's in the little apple orchard which I mentioned before, but it has quite a bit of moss and other green pieces. Any of you out there who are botanists and know what this is, know some buildings have rare lichen. I don't think it's lichen. How unusual. Here we have The Glory of the Garden, a poem by Rudyard Kipling. And inside here, the greenhouse with its tomatoes, its peppers. In our greenhouse, we have tomatoes and peppers as well. But they've not really turned as red as we would like for this time of year, but I think that's the same for a lot of people. So we're now going to walk through this rather splendid gate. And from this gate we come to a little bit more of a formal courtyard type garden. Some sunflowers reaching up to the sky, and I can see some bees busy along those sunflowers. Our hollyhocks. Seeing a lot of pollinators, not all bees, and butterflies. And interestingly, wasp-like creatures are also pollinators. It's just so very peaceful, walking slowly, looking at the various flowers. And again, we're in sort of a little mini apple orchard. Some ground fall of the apples there. I planted some sunflowers myself. By no means they've grown as tall as these, but I did plant them from seed. There is the entrance to the house. As well as the garden itself, there are some walks that you can go on if you have the time. And of course, what's really quite interesting about Bateman's is that there is no record of someone called Bateman's actually living in the property. So Papa Dunk and I are going to go and have a look at the house now. As it's a National Trust property, there's no filming allowed, but that's fine. You see the date here, 1634. So, from Bateman's,
Right, I'll go on number 2.
and the gardens, Papa Dunk and I are going to say goodbye for now. Goodbye for now.